We're going to be coming from Acts chapter 27 this evening. So let's get into it. And when it was determined that we should sail unto Italy, they delivered Paul and certain other prisoners until one named Justus, a centurion of the Augustus band. Now, what this is talking about is Paul appealed to Caesar. He was standing in front of Festus, and Festus was asking him, "Do you want to be tried before Jerusalem?" Because the elders and the priests of Jerusalem came to Festus and was saying, bring Paul back to Jerusalem so he can be tried. But they didn't want to try Paul in Jerusalem. What they wanted to do was ambush him so they can unalive him on the way. But Paul, he said he appealed to Caesar. And plus, God was telling Paul beforehand that he would, just as he testified in Jerusalem, he's going to also testify in Rome. So Paul had just stood before Festus and King Agrippa, and now they're going to put him on a ship. And Festus and Agrippa got together and said, if Paul didn't appeal to Caesar, he would have been, set free. But God told Paul that night that he would be in Rome and that he would be a witness unto him. So they put them on a ship. And Paul is not alone on a ship because there's 276 other prisoners that's on the ship along with Paul, along with Luke, who is the author of Acts, along with Aristarchus, one of Paul's companion in the gospel. So let's pick back up. And when it was determined that we should sail unto Italy, they delivered Paul and certain other prisoners unto one named Justus, a centurion of Augustus' band, named Justus, a centurion of the Augustus band, and enter into a ship of Aramingalins. We launched, meaning to sail by the coast of Asia. One Aristarchus, a Macedonia of Thessalonica, being with us. This is Paul. When you see the us and the we, this is Paul as an eyewitness, as one of Paul's companion. He's with them on this ship. Verse 3. And the next day we touch at Sidon, and Justus courteously entreated Paul, and given him liberty to go unto his friends to refresh himself. His friends were able, Luke, Aristarchus, was able to go with him on the ship. And this centurion named Justus gave Paul freedom. So his friends can refresh him and be with him. Verse 4. And when we had launched from hence, we sailed under Cyprus, because the winds were contrary. And when we had sailed over the sea of Cilicia and Pamphylia, we came to Myra, a city of Lycia. And I'm going to screw some of these names up, but y'all be patient. I'll put them in the comments. Verse 6. And there the centurion found a ship of Alexandria, sailing unto Italy. And he put us therein. And when we had sailed slowly many days, and scarce we came over against Nasha, the wind not suffering us, we sailed under Crete over against Simon. And hardly passing it, came into a place which is called the Fair Haven, nigh whereunto was the city of Lycia. Now, when much time was spent, and when selling was now dangerous because the fast was now already past, Paul admonished them. This is not a good season. This is wintertime. This is not a good season for them to really take a boat out. But they had prisoners that they wanted to deliver to Caesar, and they had wheat and grain that they wanted to deliver also. So, verse 10, I'll read verse 9 over. And now, when much time was spent, and when selling was now dangerous because the fast was now already past, Paul admonished them and said unto them, Sirs, I perceive this voyage will be with hurt and much damage, not only of the landing and ship, but also of our life. Paul is giving them a warning not to sail from, stay right here at Crete. I think they was in Crete, because it's not a good thing. And as we read on, we will know that they will be shipwrecked in this, and the ship will be lost, but no life will be lost. Verse 11. Nevertheless, the centurion believed the master and the owner of the ship more than those things which were spoken by Paul. Now take heed, Paul is giving them that warning that this ship is going to be lost. We should wait. But the centurion believed the master and the owner of the ship more than Paul. So they're going to go ahead and do what the master want them to do and the ship owner want them to do. They're going to go ahead and sell. Verse 12. And because the haven was not commodious to wintertime, it's not a good time to sell, to winter in, and more part advised to depart hence also, if by any means they might attain to Phoenice, and there to winter, which is an haven of Crete, and lieth towards the southwest and northwest. And when the south wind blew softly, supposing that they had attained their purpose, loosening hence, they sailed close to Crete. They're going to go on this trip, but watch what happened. But not long after, there arose against it a tempestuous wind called Eucharis. This is a bad wind. This is like almost like a hurricane. Wind gonna be blowing and everything is not good. They should have listened to Paul, but they didn't. They want to listen to the master of the ship and the owner. So now all of a sudden the wind was calm, but now it was soft. But now it's tremendous. It's tempestuous. The wind is out of control. So, but now, long after, there arose against it a tremendous, a tempestuous wind called Ukrainian. And when the ship was caught, they could not bear up unto the wind. We let her drive. Look, that wind was caught up. That ship was caught up. Hallelujah. They was trying to steer it probably this way, that way. They couldn't steer it. So they just let it drive. Let it go the way it's going to go. And running under a certain island, which is called Claudia, we had much work to come by the boat. They got to do a lot of work. Which when they had taken up, they used help undergirding the ship, and fearing lest they should fall into a quicksand, stake sail, and so were driven. They put like these cables underneath the ship, undergirding it, because the ship is going to start to break apart. So they got these cables trying to hold this ship together because it's a bad storm out here. Verse 18. And we being exceedingly tossed with a tempest, the next day they lightened the ship. The ship was being tossed to and fro. So they started to lighten the ship, throwing taffling over, throwing grain over. Verse 19. And the third day we cast out with our own hands the taffling of the ship. That's everything. And when neither sun nor star in many days appear, and no small tempers lay on us.